If your work involves sales calls, team syncs, or client meetings, then you already know the pressure. You need to listen closely, but you also need clean notes later. That tension never worked well. AI assistants finally handle that gap with more maturity. These tools listen with context, organize decisions, and support lead management without constant manual work. So today, we are going through 5 AI meeting assistants and note takers that you can trust. Let's see how they work and who they are built for. Okay, so we'll start off with Himala. While many assistants focus solely on the during phase of a meeting, Himala distinguishes itself by treating meetings as part of a continuous, living workflow. It is designed for professionals who want to eliminate the isolated event feel of digital syncs. Himala's standout feature is its smart Intel context engine, which scans connected tools like Slack, Notion, and Gmail to surface relevant past interactions and documents before the call even begins. This ensures you never walk into a session underprepared or out of the loop. In professional settings, Himala's non-intrusive capture technology operates discreetly. After the meeting, the platform's automated executive summaries go beyond simple bullet points. For project managers, Himala serves as a digital memory for long-form initiatives. By archiving every decision and task, it ensures that critical details remain accessible rather than fading over time. Rather than letting ideas vanish once the call ends, Himala converts dialogue into a searchable historical record. A unique bot-free recording option makes it ideal for sensitive client consultations or high-stakes executive briefings, where a visible AI bot might feel intrusive. It is particularly impactful for cross-functional teams who need to maintain tight alignment across multiple platforms without manual data entry. When we use TLDV, the first thing we notice is how video-first its thinking is. Most tools reduce a meeting to text, but TLDV treats the video itself as knowledge. During a call, we can tag moments with a shortcut, and that habit alone changes how we listen. We stop panic typing and focus on the conversation. After the meeting, those tags become instant entry points. We can pull short clips, combine them, and send a 2-minute reel to a sales manager or a product lead. For lead management, this matters more than it sounds. Instead of vague notes like "client liked pricing but had concerns," you can attach the exact clip where the prospect talks about budget hesitation. TLDV works best with Zoom and Google Meet, so platform coverage is still limited. Also, it does not try to automate tasks or push data deeply into a CRM. However, for teams that sell, onboard, or review calls with context, this visual approach keeps information honest. We are not summarizing what we think was said, we are sharing what was actually said. Then we move into Transkriptor, and the shift here is language and scale. This tool feels built for teams that do not live in one market or one accent. Transkriptor supports over 100 languages, and that changes how reliable meeting notes feel for global sales or research calls. When we test it on multilingual meetings, the transcripts stay readable and the translations feel usable rather than decorative. Beyond that, the AI assistant layer is where things get interesting. We can ask questions like what objections came up last quarter across demos, and it pulls answers from past calls. That turns transcripts into a searchable memory. For lead management, this means patterns surface without manual review. You start noticing the same hesitation around pricing or onboarding timelines. Security also plays a role here, with compliance like SOC 2 Type 2 and GDPR giving confidence for enterprise use. Where Transkriptor feels less strong is proactive guidance. It answers well, but it does not push insights unless you ask. Still, for global teams that rely on accuracy and recall, it quietly becomes essential. Fireflies is next, and this one feels more analytical in tone. Fireflies listens not just for words, but for structure in conversation. After meetings, we often jump into Ask Fred, which is their AI assistant, and we ask very practical things. What did the client say about competitors? Or draft a follow-up email based on today's call. It responds in context, and that saves real time. For lead management, Fireflies earns trust through its analytics. Talk time tracking shows who dominates calls and who stays silent. Topic trackers flag keywords like pricing, contract length, or competitor names across all meetings. Over time, this builds a data set that sales leaders can actually review. Integration depth is another strength, with connections to CRMs, project tools, and internal docs. The trade-off is that Fireflies can feel busy at first. There is a lot happening, and smaller teams may not use everything. But if you manage pipelines, interviews, or content driven by conversations, Fireflies helps turn talk into measurable signals. Finally, we come to Grain. And Grain feels like it was designed by people who sit in meetings all day. The summaries are structured in a way that mirrors how we recall conversations. Purpose, chapters, outcomes, and action items give instant orientation. We can jump to a section and hear that exact moment. For lead management, the action item system matters. Tasks appear even when ownership was unclear, which forces follow-up rather than silence. Grain also adapts through custom templates, so a sales call and a customer success review get analyzed differently. The chat feature lets us ask questions after the fact, which feels natural when memory fades. CRM syncing with HubSpot and Salesforce keeps deal records updated without manual work. Grain goes deeper with coaching and deal analysis, especially for sales teams that track frameworks like Spiced. Where Grain can feel heavy is depth. There is a lot to explore, and not every team needs coaching metrics. Still, for teams that want meetings to directly move deals forward, Grain connects conversation to execution very well. These tools are no longer passive recorders. They are active systems that help you remember, decide, and follow through. The right choice depends on how you work. That was all. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos.